Page 23. English settlers described the Indians as being of a tractable, free, and loving nature, without guile or treachery. Yet, in most instances, they exploited and all but exterminated them. Why would you take by force from us that which you can obtain by love? One puzzled chief asked an early Virginia colonist. According to the latter's own account, the first settlers of New England dealt fairly with the local inhabitants. They made honest, if somewhat misguided, efforts to Christianize and educate them and to respect their rights, but within a few years their relations with the Indians deteriorated. The settlers seized more land, and their livestock ruined Indian crops and hunting grounds. In King Philip's War 1675 to 1676, a protracted slaughter on both sides culminated in the massacre of perhaps 4,000 Indians at the Great Swamp in Rhode Island. Relativity of cultural values. If some of the natives were naive in thinking that the invaders, with their potent fire sticks and huge ships, which seemed to be moving islands. Never mind. Spain's European rivals. While Spain waxed fat on the wealth of the Americas, the other nations of Western Europe did little. In 1497 and 1498, King Henry VII of England sent Captain John Cabot to explore the New World. Cabot visited Newfoundland and the northeastern coast of the continent. His explorations formed the basis for later British claims in North America, but they were not followed up for many years. Many decades. In 1524, Giovanni da Verrazzano made a similar voyage for France, coasting the continent from Carolina to Nova Scotia. Some 10 years later, the Frenchman Jacques Cartier explored the St. Lawrence River as far inland as present-day Montreal. During the 16th century, fishermen from France, Spain, Portugal, and England began exploiting the limitless supplies of cod and other fish they found in the cold waters of Newfoundland. They landed at many points along the mainland coast, from Nova Scotia to Labrador, to collect water and wood and to dry their catches. But they made no permanent settlements until the next century. There were many reasons for this delay, the most important probably being the fact that Spain had achieved a large measure of internal tranquility, while the 16th century while France and England were still torn by serious religious and political conflicts, the Spanish also profited from having seized on those areas in America best suited to producing quick returns. Furthermore, on the first half of the 16th century, Spain under Charles V dominated Europe as well as America. Charles controlled the Low Countries, most of Central Europe, and part of Italy. Reinforced by the treasure of the Aztecs and the Incas, Spain seemed too mighty to be challenged in either the New World or the Old World. Under Philip II, who succeeded Charles in 1556, Spain's strength seemed to be at its peak, especially after Philip added Portugal to his domain in 1580, but beneath the pomp and splendor so well captured by such painters as Velázquez and El Greco, the great empire was in trouble. The corruption of the Spanish court had much to do with this. So did the ever-increasing dependence of Spain on the gold and silver of its colonies, which tended to undermine the local Spanish economy. Even more important was the disruption of the Catholic Church throughout Europe by the Protestant Reformation.